This is the Frida Baby 4-in-1 Grow With Me Baby Bathtub. I've been using this for a while now, so I figured I'd share some thoughts. The main reason I chose this tub was that I wanted something I could keep using as my baby grew. I had seen smaller newborn tubs that only work for a few months. I had also looked at simple plastic tubs without any infant support. This one sits somewhere between those options. It has a removable mesh sling that can be adjusted for different bathing positions and then removed when a child can sit without help. The tub itself feels solid without being too heavy. It measures a little over 28 inches long, so it does take up some room. I can place it inside a regular bathtub or on a flat shower floor. I would check the available space before buying, especially if the bathroom is small. Setting it up was fairly simple once I understood where the sling hooks were supposed to go. The sling has two sides, and the color helps show which position to use. I still check the instructions because the setup is not completely obvious just by looking at it. Once the hooks were attached correctly, they stayed in place during normal use. For the newborn position, the sling forms a shallow hammock. It keeps the baby above the bottom of the tub and lets water pass through the mesh. I found this easier than trying to hold a newborn with one arm while washing with the other. I still kept one hand close the entire time, but the sling reduced some of the slipping. The head and neck area could be better. There is no thick padded section at the top. Depending on the baby's height and position, the head can get close to the hard plastic edge. I sometimes adjusted the baby lower in the sling to avoid that. A small rolled washcloth also helped with positioning, but I made sure it did not cover the face or interfere with breathing. As the baby grew and had more head control, I changed the sling to a more reclined position. That gave the legs more space and made kicking easier. This was probably the most convenient stage for me. The baby was supported, but I could still reach the arms, legs, back, and diaper area without much trouble. The supported sitting position was less convenient. A support bar fits through the fabric and creates openings for the legs. It helps keep a baby upright, but getting wet legs through those openings can be awkward. This was especially noticeable with chubby thighs. Cleaning around the bottom was also harder because the sling and bar blocked some access. I did not use that sitting setup for as long as I expected. Once my child could sit steadily without help, I removed the sling and support bar. The open tub was easier to use at that point. It gave enough space to sit, splash, and play without filling the full-size bathtub. The stated weight limit is 50 pounds, and the tub is intended to cover the period from newborn use into the toddler stage. In real life, fit depends on the child's height and activity level as much as weight. A tall toddler may feel crowded before reaching that limit. An active toddler may also try to stand, so I would not treat the sides of the tub as a safety barrier. The base has non-slip feet, and they worked well for me on a smooth bathtub surface. The tub did not move around much during use. I always made sure all the feet were sitting flat before adding water. I would not place it on an unstable counter or any raised surface, even if the tub seemed steady. There is a drain plug near the bottom, which makes emptying the water easier than tipping the whole tub over. The temperature indicator is useful as a quick warning, but I do not rely on it alone. I still test the water myself before putting the baby in. Water temperature can change, and a color indicator is not a replacement for checking carefully. Cleaning the plastic shell is easy. I rinse it, wipe it with mild, soapy water, and let it dry. The mesh sling needs more attention. Water can remain around the seams, fabric edges, and attachment points. If I only hang it up without removing it, those areas stay damp longer than expected. I started taking the sling off more often and washing it according to the care instructions. That made a difference. I also spread it out so air could reach both sides. Anyone worried about mildew should know that hanging the full tub after each bath may not be enough. The fabric needs to be checked and cleaned regularly. The built-in hanging hook is convenient when storage space is limited. I can hang the tub vertically and keep it off the bathroom floor. I am careful not to put too much stress on the hook, though. It is plastic, and it does not feel like something I would want to bend or pull on repeatedly. Compared with a basic plastic baby tub, this one gives a newborn more support. Compared with a foam bath cushion, it dries more easily when the sling is removed and washed. The trade-off is that there are more parts to clean and keep track of. The sling, support bar, hooks, and drain pieces all need occasional attention. I think this tub makes the most sense for someone who wants one bathing setup for a newborn and a sitting toddler. It is also useful if a full-size bathtub uses too much water for a small child. It may not be a good fit for someone who wants a very small tub, has almost no storage space, or does not want to wash a fabric sling regularly. My experience has been mostly positive, but the newborn head support and the sitting harness are the two areas I would think about before buying. The open toddler setup is simple and practical. The earlier sling positions work well as long as I take time to attach them correctly and keep the fabric dry. I would recommend considering it if the size works in your bathroom and you are comfortable with the extra sling cleaning. It has been useful for my routine, but it still requires constant supervision and careful water checks like any baby bath. If you have questions about the setup, cleaning, or how the different positions feel in daily use, leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more honest product reviews. Thank you for watching.